Becky, welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about my good midlife crisis, where I am journeying through my 40s, working very hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today's video is going to be a financial health video. Today is Friday, April the 28th, and I am going to be setting up my budget for the first week of May of 2023. May for me is going to be a 5-week month. I do my budgets weekly instead of monthly or paycheckly. That's a thing now. I made it up. And since May starts on Monday and my budgets start on a Friday, I'm just going to start my May budget today with my paycheck. And we're going to do that today. If you are new, welcome. I'm super excited that you're here. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and checking me out. I really hope that you find this encouraging and helpful. Learning what not to do, maybe some of what to do. If you're checking this out because you're interested in trying out YNAB, I really hope that you can find this informative. I love this program, or if you are thinking about trying out YNAB, I really hope that you are encouraged to do so because it has absolutely changed my life. And if you haven't yet, there is a link in my description box below where you can try it out for 34 days for free. If you use that link and you do decide that you love it, then and you sign up for it, you'll get an additional 30 days for free. So you'll get 64 days for free. I will get 30 days for free. If you are not new, welcome back. Super excited that you're here with me still. Thank you for sticking with me. If you are not new, you may have noticed that April was a little bit of a rough month for me, and you may not have noticed. You may have noticed. I don't know. I have mentioned previously that my three journeys, my mental, physical, and financial health, they really tie together a lot. And I'm sure you've noticed it. When you are not feeling well mentally, then you probably are overeating or undereating, depending on how you handle stress. And if you're an emotional spender like I am, you might overspend, or especially if you're spending on food or however you're doing it, they definitely tie in together. They all do. And for me, April was a tough month. This past Wednesday would have been my sister's birthday, and my sister did pass away about 6.5 years ago. It's not a fresh wound, but it's a wound that doesn't close. And if you are familiar with grief, I am sorry. I am very sorry for you. But some years it's fine and some years it's not fine. And this year was tougher for me than other years. And I don't know why. So I've been kind of on a roller coaster this month, trying my best to cover up. I physically did not meet my goals. I still lost weight this month overall, so I'm still happy. Financially, spent more than I wanted to spend, but I still stayed within my budget, was able to cover any overspending in one category. Fun. I spent so much money in fun this month, which I never do. I'm kind of proud of myself, actually, for spending money on myself, because that's not a category where I normally spend money. I normally spend my money in my giving category. And I'm actually a little bit proud of myself for spending my money on myself this month. That being said, I spent a lot of money in my fun category this month. Mostly it was on books, but I also did go see some movies, and I did go to the Celtic Festival. And so, I keep saying the Celtic Festival. I went to Sherwood Forest. I went to the Renaissance Fair. They are at the same place. They're two completely different times of years, two completely different things, but they're at the same location. So I keep saying the wrong thing. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because when you see how much money I spent on fun, it's going to maybe be shocking if you are familiar with my budget. Because normally I have a lot of money sitting in this category and I add $10 a week to it, and it normally just builds and builds and builds. And sometimes I even pull from that category because I don't use that category very frequently. I have used it. I have pulled from other categories to fill it, and then used that money and then refilled it, and it is now back to empty again. I have used this category. So without further ado, I am going to shrink myself up into the corner so we can get started, and we will see what we are doing. It is the first week of the month for me, so this is going to have all of the the monthly categories, but it's also the last week of the month. So I'm going to have like the end of the month stuff. So it's kind of a little bit, but I am getting started earlier. Y'all who are not new, again, thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with me. April was a little rough for me, and I appreciate you being here with me through it. And thank you. And I love you. And I really do truly appreciate all of you. But anyway, it's only 7 o'clock instead of 7:30, so I'm getting on earlier than normal. So maybe that means I'll have time to actually like call my mom and make my breakfast after this, or maybe it means y'all get me for an extra like 15 minutes and I'll just talk more. Who knows? It could go either way at this point. So, also, I was curious, and I know last week I asked if anybody would be interested in seeing about my toolkit applications, what I have checked, and a couple of people said yes, they would be interested. So I will look into that this weekend and see if I can make a video for you. Again, I am not an expert. I don't really understand a lot of it, but I will show you the ones that I use and how they change it. But days of buffering is one of the things that I use, and I did notice that this is getting better. My age of money is going up and my days of buffering is going down, and that well, it's also going up, but it's a negative number, so it's going down. I looked back like a month or so, and it's improving, so that makes me feel better. This is just a way to basically, I don't want to get into too much detail because then I won't have anything to say in the toolkit, but you want this number to be high and you want this number to be high. And right now this number is negative, which is not good, but this number is almost 30 days. So that's my goal, is to have this number be at least 30 days. It used to be, and then when I made some decisions when I got my celiac diagnosis to focus on my mental health, which it was a conscious decision to, I was doing much better financially, and I decided I needed to focus on my mental health a little bit more. And I don't regret it, but it did change these numbers, which was a decision I made, but it's nice to see them going back up. Anyway, this is what happens when you give Becky extra time. She just talks a lot. So again, dining out, I give myself $50 every week for going out for food. Y'all, I actually pulled money out of this category. I pulled $3.83 out of this category last week. Look at that. Look at me using dining out to cover another expense. I give myself $75 for groceries. I give myself $10 for fun money. Look at this. I think when I closed out my last week's budget last night, what did I actually end up putting into my fun money last week? Last week, I gave myself $70.37 for fun money. That went to well, the movies I didn't pay for. The movies I actually didn't pay for, but it was for food at the movies. And for snacks and stuff. And then for 2 movies that I went to see with some friends, 2 different friends. One I went with Nathan, I went with some other friends. And then I went to the Renaissance Fair, and I bought a whole bunch of books on Audible. And yes, I looked. They are not on Hoopla. They are not on Libby. They are not on my library app. They are not at my library. These audiobooks are not available. I could not find them for free anywhere, so I purchased them on Audible. The first 3 that I bought, it was cheaper to buy the bundle and get the discounted credits. The next couple that I bought, the price of the books per book, because they're older, was cheaper than buying the credit, even at the discounted credit rate. So I just bought the books individually. But that's what I've been doing with this money. So anyway, I did it. I spent like $70 on fun money last week. Oh, I didn't go to the Renaissance Fair last week, did I? No, that was just 2 movies and the books. $70 in a week on fun money. Which you can see, $110 is what I put in there in the entire month. 70 of it was last week. If that tells you anything, last week was a really tough week for me. But I'm very thankful that I have this budgeting and I had the ability to do it without going into any debt. I was able to focus on taking care of myself and doing what I needed to do, and spent some time with friends and listened to the books, and I did what I needed to do. I got through the week. It's Friday. I haven't gone through the week yet because it's Friday, but we made it. We made it through Ruthie's birthday. Anyway, Oh, it was a tough one, y'all. This one was tough. Ecclesial expenses, I give myself $60 every week. That is $40 for the donation and $20 to go out for lunch afterwards if anybody is going. If nobody goes, that money will just roll back into my budget. I won't use it. It'll just roll back into the budget. But I'll just pull $20 out and roll it into next week. Gas, it is a week to put $50 in here. My gas tank is pretty full. Like, it's still just slightly below the E line. So I don't think I will need gas this week, but I will probably need gas next week because I plan to go out to my church camp. We host every quarter. We have quarterly meetups for all of the ecclesias that are in the Central Texas area. We meet at our church camp that we own out near Fredericksburg, and we have our church out there once a quarter. So that is the plan for next weekend, Lord willing. So we won't go out for lunch afterwards, but so I won't have the $20 in my ecclesial donation, but I will need gas. So anyway, self-care, it is the week to put $25 into my self-care. And I will probably be going to get pedicures with some of my girlfriends soon. Pet expenses. So I am going to actually put this into next month. The reason I'm putting these in this month is because technically these are for May, but they're for this week, and May doesn't start until Monday, and I'm going to be probably doing some dining out, definitely going to go to church, and definitely I'll probably go grocery shopping this weekend, and May doesn't start until Monday. And so I will need this money in April because it's still April. But the pet food, I don't need dog food this weekend. I don't need cat food this weekend. So I will put this into May. But what I do with whatever's left over, which this month isn't a lot, but whatever's left over in my pet expenses at the end of the month, I move down to my pet emergency fund, just so I have a little bit built up. But I am going to go into May and put that $50 into pet expenses for the month of May, because I don't need anything for them this weekend. Household gets $50. Again, I will put that in the month of May. That is for May, and I don't need anything right now. Budgeting gets $25. That is for May, and I don't need anything right now. So I did fill those. Those are my monthly expenses, and since those are monthly expenses for the month of May, I am putting them into the month of May. So $50 for pet expenses, $50 for household expenses. Again, if you're new, I separate household expenses and pet expenses from my groceries just so I can track how much I'm spending on these items. Mostly so I can track how much I'm spending on groceries, because again, if you're new, I have celiac, and it was recently diagnosed. It was diagnosed in September. And I want to just see how much money I'm spending on food because it's a lot. So I pull out anything I buy for the household. These are cleaning items, bathroom items, whatever, laundry, dish soap, things like that. I separate those out from my groceries. And then my pet expenses, toys, scratch pads, food, leashes if they need new leashes, things like that. I put those expenses separate from my food and my household items as well. Those are all separate categories for me. And then I do split the cost of those items with my roommate / landlord, Nathan. You'll hear me mention Nathan probably. So that's why it may not look like a lot, $50 a month for pet. I have 2 very large dogs and I have a cat, but we share the expenses. So $50 is actually not even the price of a bag of dog food, but we split it. So that's why it's only that much. Okay, back to April so I can pay my bills. The bills that I have this week, I have to pay my rent. That's kind of an important thing. So rent, I always budget $700, but because I'm going to actually pay rent right when I'm done with this video, because it's the 28th, I'm not going to get paid again before the 1st. I'm just going to go ahead and pay him right now. I always budget $700. I know exactly how much I owe him. I owe him $631.30. That is the $600 for rent. I pay a couple of bills, he pays a couple of bills, and then there are a couple of things throughout the month that I pay for, that he pays for. We put it into the app called Splitwise, and it just tells me how much I owe him. I picked up groceries a couple of times. He picked up groceries a couple of times. He bought dinner. I bought dinner. We put it into Splitwise. It tells me how much I owe him at the end of the month. So I actually owe him $631.30. That is what I am going to send him. My mom, I did end up putting gas into her propane tank. I actually was out there last weekend and I looked at her propane tank, and I don't know how to read a propane tank. And it said 10. And I thought that meant she had 10 gallons of propane, which found out yesterday that that's not what that means. But I thought that's what it meant. And I was like, okay, 10 gallons, that's not bad. And I looked it up and it's like an average household of 2 people uses about 10 gallons a month. And I'm like, okay. I'll wait till next month. It was 80 degrees, 85 degrees when I was out there on last Saturday. And I was like, that'll be fine. She doesn't need the heater. She's gonna do, maybe a load of dishes. My mom lives alone. Maybe a load of dishes a week. She takes, a shower, but she doesn't use that much hot water. Maybe a load of laundry a week, a load of dishes a week, and then, a couple of showers a week. She doesn't need that much hot water. She doesn't need that much. So 10 gallons of propane should last her a while. And I woke up the next morning and it was 49 degrees. And I was like, never mind. I'm going to call and get my mom some propane. Because I was kind of hoping the price of gas would come down before I had to buy her more gas. So I called them on Monday and had them go put 100 gallons worth of propane into her tank, which is $300. And then she called me yesterday or Monday, Tuesday, I don't know, whatever day. She called me Tuesday and told me that they had delivered it, and my nephew went out on Wednesday and looked at it, and it was just at 50. And I was like, well, would they put 100 gallons in? Why is it only at 50? Turns out that's not how many gallons are in the tank. That is the percentage of the tank. So it wasn't at 50, it wasn't at 10 gallons. It was at 10%, which means it had 25 gallons. So she would have been fine. But now it's at 50%. So she is more than fine. She should be fine for the rest of the summer. We shouldn't need any more propane in that tank. So we are fine. But what this means is I was not able to put the full money that I wanted to put toward my Saver One card, but that is okay because my mom needed propane. I have a plan for this, y'all. I do have a backup plan for that Saver One card. It's not my primary plan, but I did have a backup plan. So we will see about that in the next couple of weeks if we have to. That is it for this section right here. I need to go to Best Buy, which is in the credit card section. Y'all, I'm so close. I'm so close. I have put $130 toward that, and that will bring my balance down to $102. And this time next month, that card will be paid off right before the interest. It was an interest-free card that I used to buy this laptop, and I have until the middle of June to pay that card off before the interest hits. So calculated it all out so I could pay it off in time. And then I need to go into May so I can put my mom's car insurance that is due. That is $85.51. And then my car insurance, which is $245.74. What does that say? 96. Oh, that was last month. When it renews the first month when your car insurance renews, it's always like more. It's $85.51 this month. Okay. And that is all that is due for my bills this week. And then we're going to go back to April. We're going to go. Did Seth's car payment clear? So Seth's car payment was actually due yesterday, but when I logged in to make the extra payment, it hadn't cleared yet, so I couldn't make the extra payment. But let me see. It did. It did. I can make the extra payment for Seth's car today. So I will make that payment when we are done as well. So I can make that extra $173.95 and get that cleared up. Where am I? I am at budgeting. Nope, I already did budgeting. I am at gifts and giving. So I'm going to put that into May as well. For gifts and giving, I do $50 toward gifts and $50 toward my niece. But my niece should not need any help for the next couple of months at least, I really hope. because her financial situation should be getting a little bit better. So we're hoping, hopefully I can move that $50 and not have to send it to her and use it for, oh my goodness, that just jumped. I don't know what my computer's doing. Hopefully I don't have to send it to her and I can use it for actual giving. So I have some, I have a lot of cousins. Okay. My mom was one of 6 kids. My dad was one of 3. And I have a lot of cousins. And some of my cousins have kids. And so I have 4 little girls that I send Ranger Rick subscriptions to, which isn't a lot of money. It's like $16 to $20 a year, depending on the subscription, which I don't mind because I had an aunt that used to send me Ranger Rick subscriptions when I was little, and then when I got older, when I outgrew Ranger Rick, she sent me 321 Contact, which I don't even know if that's still a magazine. So she sent me highlights when I was really little, and then Ranger Rick, and then 321 Contact. And I loved getting those magazines in the mail every month. And so when my cousin's kids were a little bit, when they were old enough to enjoy the magazines, I started sending them. So I send 4 little girls the Ranger Rick magazines, which is not a big deal. It's $20 a year at max. Problem is they all come due around the same time. So it's not really $20 a year. It's like $100 a year, which again, not a bad deal to make 4 little girls happy for a year. But I think they're all, well, 3 of them are due like right now. So that'll probably come out of this month's giving budget. Also, I have a friend's birthday and I have my bestie's baby's birthday. So my giving budget, I am very glad that I probably won't have to send any money to Tiffany because I will definitely need it in my giving budget this month. And then I'm going to fill just the handful of sinking funds that I am doing right now, which is not very much. My passport renewal, I do $1.77 a month. My Find Me Gluten Free, I do $1.84 a month. My medical expenses, I do $120 a month. That's not really a sinking fund. That's like an ongoing, I have medical bills and I have to pay them. I don't know why I cannot use this trackpad. I think I'm getting caught up on these because I still have almost $50 left. Okay. And then stuff I forgot to budget for gets $20, which I already put in here. The only other 2 things I have are my 52-week savings challenge, which again, I do these. This is where you save the week of the year. I do this backwards and forwards. I save the first week of the year, the last week of the year, so $53. Second week of the year, second to last week of the year, $53. I'm doing this backwards and forwards. I save $53 every paycheck. And then my great nephew, I save $1 a week. I'm saving his age. He's not yet 1, but I'm saving $1 every week for his age up until he's 2. Then I'll save $2 a week. So since I am paid bi-weekly, I save $1 every week, so $2 every paycheck for him. And that leaves me $70 more. Oh, it's $70 more than I thought I should have because I budgeted $700 for rent and my rent is only $631 and not $700. So that's it. That's everything I have. So the way I do this to make this budget that is designed to be a paycheck budget and not a weekly budget, to make this work, I have this other section down here, because the first rule of YNAB, as everybody knows, is to give every dollar a job. That is its job. That is the function of this app. So the job of this remaining $338.14 is to be next week's money, because I won't have a paycheck next week. The only money that I will have to budget next week is this $338.14. So this money is going to go into my week 2, $338.14. And then next Friday, when we come back, hint, hint, when we come back next Friday, This is the money that I am going to pull up into my ready to be assigned, and this is the money that we are going to budget out together. I am not able to click anywhere else. So this money does have a job. This money has been assigned. This money is next week's money. That is its job. And then I shrink that down so I can't see it. It is assigned. It is not available to me. And that is its function. So all of my money has a job and has a purpose for this week. So I am ready to go. And y'all, it's only 7:23. I finished this before I even normally start this. I'm so proud of me. Okay, and I think I actually covered everything. I didn't forget anything. Everything added up. And we talked about days of buffering and age of money and why I do things. I'm going to call this a good day. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. I hope you've had a great April. And I hope you have a wonderful May coming up. I hope that everybody has a great weekend, have some fun plans, and I hope that you please remember to give this video a thumbs up on your way out. It really helps out my channel. It really, really does. If you watch it and give it a thumbs up, that is super, super helpful. If you would like to leave me a comment, that is also fantastic. And best of all, if you're not yet and you want to consider subscribing, that would be so amazing. We are at like 330, I can't remember, 330 something. I keep saying 930 something. We're almost to 1,000. And at 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. If you are publicly subscribed, you will be eligible to be in that giveaway. So please make sure you are subscribed. Okay, y'all. I love you. Thank you so much for being here with me and putting up with me and helping me and supporting me. I love you so much more than I can ever convey to you. I love you. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye.